Hello dear students, this is the third lecture on chapter 11. How are you? Hope you are fine. I am also fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Our today's topic is on various economic system. To discuss the lesson, I am here with you, your busiest teacher, Nurun Nahar, lecturer, Department of Economics, Milestone College. Let's check what is our learning outcome today. After the session, you will be able to explain the characteristics of mixed economic system, the characteristics of the Islamic economic system, the prevailing economic system of Bangladesh, last of all, the distribution status of the national income of Bangladesh. In our last session, the topic of our discussion was the capitalistic economic system and the socialistic economic system. Now, I am going to discuss the mixed economic system and the Islamic economic system today. Let's see what is mixed economic system. The economy that is based on the combination of some characteristics of capitalistic and socialistic economy is called mixed economic system. To the right side of the diagram, can you see the image that the private sector and public sector is equally existing in the same economic system, and this sort of economic system is called mixed economic system. So mixed economic system is equal to capitalistic economic system plus socialistic economic system. Actually, mixed economic system is the combination of the characteristics of both capitalistic and socialistic economic system. Let's discuss about the characteristics of mixed economic system. Number one is coexistence. Already in the definition you have seen coexistence of the public and private ownership will be here. The government ownership, initiative and either full and partial control remain effective in some sectors. The sectors are communication sector, system, treatment, arrangement for education, basic and large industry, publicly important organization, big bank and financial organization, main import and export goods, life-saving drugs, child food, etc. are under government control in a mixed economic system. Now let's see what are under private ownership. The agricultural goods, clothes and garments, processed foods, personal vehicles, restaurant, etc. are under private ownership. So you can see the sectors are divided into two parts. Some sectors are under public ownership and some sectors are under private ownership. That's why this is called mixed economic system. Our second characteristics is competition. In the private sector, it is remain predominant. So there is always competition for production and fixing of prices of goods, demand and supply. So our third point is earning profit. As in our earlier discussion, you have seen that in the private sector the main objective was earning maximum profit, and in the public sector their aim is to earn maximum profit. Their aim is not earning maximum profit, rather gaining public welfare. So earning profit is only the aim of the private sector, and the sectors those which are included in the public sector, they does not work for earning maximum profit, rather they work for the welfare of the people of the country. Our fourth characteristics is the freedom of entrepreneur and consumer. In case of producer, an individual can take initiative to produce any common goods at any amount. even can do monopoly business as the sole producer of any goods. Let's define what is common goods, my dear students. Common goods are those goods it can be produced by anyone, such as some consumer goods are known as common goods, such as rice, wheat, tobacco, different kinds of clothes, garments, vehicles, restaurants. All these are common goods. But restriction is imposed on monopoly business of essential goods used by the people. I think there is a question in your mind that what is monopoly business? Yeah, I'm going to sort out this after the discussion of the point. In our first 2 points, we have seen in case of producer what is going to be happen. Now we will see in case of consumer what will happen about the common goods. Consumers can easily purchase and consume common goods freely. There is no restriction of the government, but in case of essential goods, the government sometimes impose control on its purchase and consumption. The situation depends on the emergency situation of the country. If production is restricted, then consumption is also restricted by the government. Let's see, a footnote is there. What is monopoly? When a person or a group controls the supply of a commodity or service to control its price to earn maximum profit, then it is called monopoly business. And you must sure that controlling price means increasing the price as much as they want by producing the certain goods or commodity, because there is no other producer or supplier of that commodity except that person or the group. That's why a person or a group can enjoy monopoly power in case of business by capturing the whole market for that product or commodity. Our fifth characteristics of mixed economic system is distribution of income. In case of private sector, labor exploitation exists. As you know, in private sector, private owners' main aim is to earn maximum profit. So they will try to give less wage or salary to the laborers to earn maximum profit. But the sectors, those which are run under the public ownership, in that case their main aim to earn social welfare to the utmost. So labor exploitation does not exist in case of the sectors under public ownership. Now, my dear students, the fourth and the last economic system of all over the world is characteristics of the Islamic economic system. Actually, Islamic economic system is a complete code of life, and there is the instruction of each activity of human being in Islam. That's why Islam is called the complete code of life, and there is a guidance about politics, rules, regulations, legal structures, social, economic and religious activities, about everything included in Islam. And all such rules and regulations are actually described in the Holy Quran and Hadith. And the foundation of Islamic economic system is also the Holy Quran and Hadith. People can get all sorts of solution and answers from these two basic foundation of Holy Quran and Hadith. So my dear students, let's see what are the characteristics of Islamic economic system. First of all, it is ownership of asset. Actually, in Islamic economic system, a person can achieve in the as much as wealth as he can, but of course in an honest way. The personal ownership of the asset is recognized in Islam. And a person can use and consume the asset according to his wish and can transfer his property to his heirs. That is, there is no prohibition about earning as much asset as a person can in an honest way, and he can share his property to his future generation. Second point is the Sharia based economic functions. Economic functions are run as per the provision of Sharia, and the basic principles of the economic activities are 5 basic pillars of Islam. My dear students, I think you know what are the 5 basic pillars of Islam: Iman, Salat, Saum, Zakat and Hajj, and the instructions of the Holy Quran and the provisions of Hadith of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Our third characteristics is production system and the remuneration of the factors of production. Actually, that is based on the distribution of income. As in our previous session, you have seen what is distribution of income and how it is done among the 4 factors of production. Let's discuss. Any person can invest for the production of halal goods, either individually or collectively according to the Sharia. That is, according to the Sharia, a person can invest as much as he wants to produce. Then Zakat is compulsory for the rich person. My dear students, a question may arise, what is Zakat? Let's see the footnote. If a fixed amount of money or asset remains under the possession of an individual for a certain period, then a fixed portion of it has to be distributed among the poor in the Islamic economic system. Then it will be called Zakat. Nisab is related to Zakat. That is, the amount of assets that makes Zakat compulsory is called Nisab. Another instruction or prohibition is there about the interest. The transaction of interest, that is the payment to the owner of the capital, is haram or prohibited in the Islamic economic system. That is, keeping money in the commercial bank and taking the interest is prohibited according to Islamic Sharia. And another thing is this: there is interest-free deposit and loan-taking system in the Islamic banking system. That is, the producers and the businessmen can take loan from the Islamic banks and pay profit to the loan disbursing individual organization or bank, and it is received as profit from the business but not as an interest. It will be considered as profit, not as interest. Our next characteristics of the Islamic economic system is income distribution. Labor exploitation is not possible in Islamic economic system. Since the production system is free from exploitation, the paying of remuneration is based on equity and justice. So, equity and justice will be ensured to the laborers. Our next topic is the prevailing economic system of Bangladesh. My dear students, there are 4 steps, as you can see. In the first step of the formation of economic system of our country, the feudal economic system was existed. Let me explain what is feudal economic system. The system was landlord centered. The owner of oath mentioning area of land would have called landlords. The economy was based on agriculture. A landlord was financially self-sufficient. People of all vocation and profession, such as farmer, blacksmith, potter, weaver, fisherman, carpenter, goldsmith, businessman, teacher, were under his control. That is, these professionals were under the control of the landlord of that area or locality. Even a landlord would have the latials, that is a group of people, those who were engaged in fighting, for the security of his asset and land property. These landlords were called actually Jamindar in the British period. There are a lot of films regarding these landlords or Jamindars. You can observe them by getting idea about the landlords of our ancient economic system. In the second stage, after the feudal economic system, the Jamindar system was abolished in the Pakistan period and it was replaced to capitalist economic system. Point number 2 will be capitalist economic system instead of Jamindar system, as you can see in the video. Please make a correction of it. In the influence of Jamindari system was existence along the capitalist system. The capitalist system got predominance at the end of the Pakistani period, and the major portion of capital and asset were under the possession of a few number of people. My dear students, you know about the exploitation and discrimination about the Pakistani period in our land. So the West Pakistani government wanted to establish capitalist economic system in our country by exploiting our laborers and by taking away our money to their own land. Third step is the socialistic economic system. In 1971, after an armed struggle, we achieved our independence, as you know, and the new government took initiatives for establishing a socialistic economic system in this country, and it was on the basis of constitution. You know, a constitution was drafted just after the liberation for this land. The large-scale industries, financial organizations, banks, insurances, transport, main industrial organizations, primary education, import and export, all these sectors were undertaken in the state ownership and control. You know, in socialistic economic system, all the important settlements will go under the control of the government. In fact, everything will go under the control of the government. So socialistic economic system started just after the liberation war, but finally the government had to employ almost the entire capacity to solve the problems of a war-torn economy of a newly independent country. And in our country, as you know, human resources like skilled administrators, managers, entrepreneurs, intellectuals were the victims of killing and atrocities after 14th December. As a result, it was not possible to initiate proper management of those organizations because of lack of skilled managers. As a result, the nationalized industries and business organizations of our country faced loss. So the action was taken to expand the private sector and individual initiative. So that was the end of socialistic economic system in our land. Finally, in our country, there was a trend expanding private sector and private initiative, and just after 90s, still it is continuing, and denationalization of nationalized industries started during this time. Excuse me. The mixed economic system is still prevailing in Bangladesh. By discussing the points, you can easily understand. In Bangladesh, there is existence of public and private sector. In our country, government and non-government partnership are still existed. Excuse me. In some cases, another remarkable characteristics of our economic system is that market economy is getting established with the expansion of private initiative. That is, in private initiative there is a touch of capitalistic economic system. That's why this sort of economic system is defined as free market economy. Number 4, the price of goods are determined by the mutual action of demand and supply. That is, the amount of demand and amount of supply, The intersecting point of demand and supply will determine the price of the goods. Let me give you an example. Suppose at 10 taka price, demand of a certain good is 20 units, and at the same price, supply of the certain product is also 20 units. So at 10 taka price, demand and supply is equal. So that price will be fixed or determined as the equilibrium price for buying and selling that certain goods or commodity. External and internal sources of capital. My dear students, as you know, in our country we have lack of capital as the per capita income is so less, there is less saving. Whether there is less saving, the bank can get less amount of money for depositing. That's why the amount of capital formation is very less in our country. So the external sources, internal sources are not enough to form capital. In that case, we are dependent on the external sources also. Independence of the producers and consumers. In our country, just after deliberation, it has been seen that the producers can take decision under private ownership to invest as much as he can and to produce more and to earn maximum profit. Consumers can also earn, and as much as they can earn, they can buy and consume the goods they want. But that will be applicable in case of common goods, not for essential goods, because in some cases essential goods are controlled by the government of our country. So this is the last point of our today's discussion. Distribution status of the national income of Bangladesh. What is the distribution status? Let me discuss the production system at first. In our country, the owner of the capital and organizer is the same person in most of the cases. That is, the person who has taken initiative to produce something, he is not only the organizer, he is also the supplier or the owner of the capital. So he is earning twice. As the owner of the capital, he is earning interest, and as the owner of the organization, he is earning profit. So interest and profit is earned by the same person. Secondly, exploitation of laborers exists in capitalists. The person who is producing something under private ownership, his main aim to earn maximum profit. So he will try to pay less wage to the laborers, and the laborers will be exploited in this way. The rest of the part the capitalist will take as the part of the interest or profit. So this is the production system. Let's see what is the distribution system in our country. In our earlier discussion, you have seen what is distribution process. The process of distribution produced resources among the 4 factors of production, such as land, labor, capital and organization, is called distribution process. Let's see what sort of distribution process is followed in our country. My dear students, it was discussed earlier, though I am repeating. The owner of the land get rent, the owner of the labor get wage, the owner of the capital get interest, and the owner of the organization get profit. In this way, by using land, labor, capital and organization, whatever produced goods or commodity, it will be converted into monetary term, and it will be distributed among the owners by rent, wage, interest and profit. So this is the system of distribution in our country. It is followed since the beginning. So that's it, today's discussion. My dear students, I have given 10 questions. All of them are for knowledge based question or 1 mark, and you will answer the questions and upload within 20 minutes. All these questions, I hope all these questions will be available from the lecture. If anyone is not available, you can go through the book, there is no problem. Here is the homework. You will complete the homework and upload it in the group by tomorrow. Identify the characteristics of the economic system of Bangladesh and explain. My dear students, let me give you a hint. From our today's discussion, I think you have already identified that the characteristics of the economic system of Bangladesh is mixed economic system. So, you will identify why Bangladesh is under mixed economic system by explaining the characteristics of mixed economic system as I have discussed in today's lecture. See you soon in our next class. Till then, bye. Thank you for your valuable time.